Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Welcome to Coffee Break with Tara by Laura González. My name is Laura González, and today we drink on the Krampus cup some coffee because this cold is not a joke. I know it's not as cold as most people will be complaining about, but I will be complaining about because I'm from the tropics. And 25 years in Chicago and I'm still not acclimated. Oh well. Maybe I am acclimated, but anyway, you're not here for that. I have lots of hats, so you will see me on lots of hats throughout the winter. And I like to say, welcome to everybody. If you are around Pilsen tomorrow, please do not miss the Viva la Mujer holiday market. Is the first holiday market by Viva la Mujer. They have done markets before, of course, and I love them. I love them. And all the vendors that are going to be there, they're just wonderful people. Um, all women, for women, by women. So join us at La Casa de la Cultura on 18th Street. We're going to be there from, I think it's 12 to 5 or 1 to 5. I can't remember. I think it's 12 to 5. So join us. I will be offering, of course, the readings, my oils and spirits, and my devotional art, and the 12-month reading special. So if you're in Pilsen tomorrow, join us. If not, on Sunday, I will be at Krampus's Dark Christmas Night. That's the name of the event. And that is going to be on Thornton, Illinois. And it's going to be amazing. Lots of vendors too. And that event is from 1 to 7, I think. I cannot remember the times anymore. Anyway, let's see what the card for the weekend is. And what are we going to learn? Two came out. Two came out. And I know it's learning the card of the day. But when two come out, what am I going to do? I'm using the Celtic Tarot by dear friend Christopher Hughes. And then we're going to look up at the, what you call it, at the Rider-Waite-Smith. I'm having brain freeze. We're going to look at the Rider-Waite-Smith and see what card we have for today. So today we have the Nine of Shields. And I think we have this card before. You know what? Let me pull again because I don't like to do repeating cards. We already learned the Nine of Coins. And the point of this series, learning the card of the day, is that we pull a different card and not that we do the same card over and over and over and again. So let's see what we have. We have the Eight of Wands. All right, the Eight of Wands. And of course, this is the interpretation by the Celtic Tarot of the Eight of Wands. So what the card means, or what the message will be for the weekend, is to stay focused, to keep moving forward, to conserve our energy, to, rather than conserve, let me rephrase that, to focus on energy on our goal at task, to really not get distracted and look elsewhere, but rather to put that energy towards what we work in. So it's very similar to the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, and it's the meaning of the card, or how do we go into the meaning of the card. Well, first of all, we have a very clear background. There is no rain, there is no clouds, there is no anything that interferes. So that tells us about clear skies. Clear skies usually relate to clear mind, to being assertive, to being um, able to receive inspiration. Then the ground, though it's green, it looks kind of bare a little bit. And that reminds us of the element of fire, right? There is life, there is sunshine, there is warmth, but there is not water, there is not um, a lot of heavy material such as earth and coins. So this tells us about heat and fire. And when we see wands, we are always talking about the element of fire. So why is that important? Because fire represents a whole lot of things, such as creativity, dynamic energy, movement, healing, healing, and passion. It could also be referring to sexuality, actually, sensuality, sexuality. So if that's your case, more power to you. You'll look like you're gonna have a good weekend. But it's also about passion and devotion, fervor, anything that represents fire, you know. So we are being told to pay attention to that, to concentrate on that, to make sure that our mind is on the right place and that we are really paying attention and working towards the goal that we want to achieve. So that is what the card for today is and what it means and how to interpret it. And because we have time, and even though I have a killing headache, I want to pull an oracle card for all of us. Hello, La Dancy Nancy. I know you come in the room when I see all those cards. And hi, Liz is sweet. How are you? And what is that, Yali? Yali 5 or Isili 5? I cannot read, it's too small. But anywho, let's see. I'm going to use the Celebration of Love Oracle. And speaking of feeling sick, I'm still sick. I still have a cough. It's not COVID. And my dog still has a cough. And I have set up my Venmo there. If you feel so inclined to help us pay for my dog's treatment, his doctor visit was $2,000. I am not doing a GoFundMe, but if you feel so inclined to donate a little bit for my doggy's treatment, we will be very grateful. All right, let's see what the Celebration of Love is telling us about. Ooh, perseverance. It matches that Eight of Wands. Is the same vibe, is the same energy, perseverance. So let's see what the card says. Whoa, where are you going? It almost fell. Perseverance. You are being inspired to break through your fear of success. See your success as a beautiful sphere with a hard shell around it. Turn it over to the Creator. Make conscious decision, make the conscious choice that the impermeable shell be melted off and your dream is free to now flourish in the energy of divine love. It is very similar. You are being inspired to break through your fear of success. See your success as a beautiful sphere with a hard shell around it. Turn it over to the Creator. Make the conscious choice that the impermeable shell be melted off and your dream is free to now flourish into the energy of divine love. So those are the messages for us for this weekend. And I have just made the decision at this very moment that I'm going to take the Celebration of Love Oracle on my events for the remainder of the season. The messages are just so cute, and they match the vibe of winter and Christmassy and Krampus and all that. So, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for supporting our work. And if you are on Saturday, come to see us at Viva la Mujer if you're in Pilsen. And if you are in Thornton, Illinois, I've never been to Thornton, Illinois, so it's going to be my first time. Come by, say hi, get a reading, get a piece of art, get a spray, get an oil, or get a hug. It's up to you. Hugs are free, consensually free. Um, we still have COVID around, by the way. We still have COVID on the great scheme of things. And I will say just be mindful of who you touch and be mindful of asking for consent. And even if we didn't have COVID, don't be touching people without consent. That's just my 2 cents. Anyway, I will see you next week. Never forget that you are loved. Bye bye.